never leaves you. It's always there, a quiet voice in your ear, reminding you of what you did. This is the story of James Holloway and how a stormy night at Westfield University's library marked the beginning of an unending torment as guilt began to haunt him. Thunder rumbled outside. James and his friends sat in their small dorm room, planning something awful.
"Let's teach Ryan a lesson. He'll never forget,"
James said, his voice cold and mean. The jealousy he'd felt for months finally found a way out. Their plan was simple but cruel: trick Ryan into the library basement and lock him. As they walked to find Ryan, James felt uneasy. A voice in his head said this was wrong, but he didn't listen. They found Ryan studying late, not knowing about the storm outside or the storm in James' mind.
"Hey, Ryan, we need your help with something."
James called out, hiding his true plans behind a fake smile. Despite his unease, Ryan followed James to the library basement. In the dimly lit basement, James asked Ryan to retrieve a particular journal from an old, dusty closet. As Ryan reached into the closet, James suddenly pushed him inside and locked the door from the outside.
"Have fun in there. Genius."
He taunted as Ryan begged to be let out. James and his friends left Ryan locked in the dark closet, their laughter echoing through the basement as they made their way back to their dorm room. The next morning, when the janitor found Ryan dead in the closet, the campus was in shock. James and his friends were scared, but also felt a twisted sense of relief knowing that Ryan would no longer outshine them. That night began James' nightmare. As he tried to sleep, his room turned icy cold. The lights flickered before everything went dark. He told himself it was just bad wiring until he heard it, a faint crying sound coming from inside the walls. The noise bothered him, making him feel like he was going crazy.
"It's all in my head,"
James whispered. But when he finally slept, he had awful dreams. Ryan was trapped in that closet, banging on the door, begging to be let out while James stood outside, laughing. In the dream, Ryan's voice echoed.
"Why, James? What did I do to you?"
The next day brought no peace. James felt eyes watching him from every dark corner. His friends saw he was acting strange but thought it was just stress from exams. "Man, you need to relax," one friend said, noticing how James kept jumping at every little noise. As days passed, weird things kept happening to James. His dorm room felt alive with dark energy. Doors opened by themselves and things moved without anyone touching them. One night, he woke up to find wet footprints leading from his bathroom to his bed. James was scared all the time. Shadows looked spooky, and at night, he heard ghostly whispers in a voice that sounded like Ryan's, which made him remember his guilt. James was overwhelmed by guilt, which led to failing grades, lost friends, and rumors about his mental state. Ironically, his attempt to be better than Ryan resulted in his own failure. James wasn't the only one affected by what happened to Ryan. His friends, who helped with the prank, also experienced strange things. Objects moving around them and feelings of fear that wouldn't go away. One friend fell downstairs at a party. Another crashed their car late one night, each accident reminding them of what happened to Ryan, in ways that made them question their sanity. James' mind got even worse when he learned one friend had taken their own life, leaving a note full of sadness and regret for what they did to Ryan. He couldn't focus on his studies anymore, couldn't even remember why he'd been so jealous of Ryan in the first place. James wondered if Ryan's spirit was seeking revenge not just on him, but on everyone who had wronged Ryan in life. On the day Ryan died a year ago, a night filled with storm clouds and tension, James felt a strong pull back to that basement where it all began. The air felt strange and powerful as he got close to the utility closet door, the very place where everything went wrong. James felt a wave of fear and regret. Thunder rumbled overhead, warning him to turn back, but it was too late. Something he couldn't see pulled him inside before slamming the door shut with a loud bang. Total darkness surrounded him as memories flooded back, Ryan's cries for help echoing around him like a twisted song of sadness. Ryan's ghost appeared from the darkness, whispering, "Now you understand," with empty yet angry eyes.
"You could have asked for my help, James. We could have succeeded together."
James realized, as he faced the truth and the consequences of his actions, that there was no escaping the misery he had brought upon himself or the anger of Ryan's ghost seeking justice for his lost life. The next morning, the dorm was unusually quiet. with only the wind making soft noises through the open windows. When students found James's body in the library, it was a shocking sight. James lay there, his body twisted in a way that showed he had been very scared. His wide-open eyes stared blankly, and his face was frozen in a look of pure fear. At night, the library seemed to come alive with creepy noises. Books flew off the shelves on their own, doors slammed shut loudly, and the lights flickered, casting scary shadows. Some students heard terrifying screams echoing through the halls, making it clear that something very frightening was happening. Years later, the old library was still a scary place. People said they saw a ghostly figure in the dark, with empty eyes full of anger and sadness. The story of James and Ryan became a spooky legend, reminding everyone that some wrongs never go away, and that restless spirits keep seeking justice even after death.